now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book The Man Crisis comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. There was a mass shooting at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee. And in this incident, a 28-year-old woman, Audrey Hale, allegedly went to her former alma mater, the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee, with an AR-15 style rifle and a pistol and other weapons, and allegedly took the lives of 3 9-year-old students and 3 teachers at the Covenant Elementary School. Now, according to reports, Audrey Hale was a transgender who was a female who was transitioning into becoming someone with a male identity and participated in this shooting with a male identity and was going to participate in this mass shooting because allegedly she was frustrated with the state of her life. Now, the police are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior that Audrey Hale participated in, it fits the pattern and profile for troubled women that I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis, and it also fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that Audrey Hale definitely was a woman in crisis, and she was a woman in crisis because she was chafing under the strict Christian household that she was living in. Now, Audrey Hale possibly was one of these individuals who was having issues as related to their sexuality, and as she was having issues with her sexuality, she was possibly having conflict with her parents who believed that she had some sort of emotional disorder. And these parents were basically having serious conflict with their daughter because their daughter was out here having issues with their sexual identity, and this ran counter to the religion that her parents were raising her to be under. And this is something that many Christian families have serious conflict with as related to their children. Many Christian families, what they want to see is their daughter being a heterosexual woman, and they cannot really accept something like their daughter going out and transitioning from being female and going into being male. And this possibly was one of the core foundations as related to the frustration that Audrey Hale was having with her life, because Audrey Hale had just graduated from an art school in 2022 and possibly believed that going out here and graduating from art school would allow them to go out here and start their life, and didn't understand that most artists out here struggle as related to making a living. Now, most artists out here, they don't make big money when they graduate from art school. No, most artists have to take a lot of smaller jobs, which is what Audrey Hale was doing for quite some time. She was possibly taking these jobs in order to start making some sort of living, while possibly going to places like Comic-Cons and comic book shows in order to try to book the commission gigs that open the door to other paying gigs, like possible commissions for things like book covers or illustrations in books. And she was possibly thinking that maybe somebody would eventually notice her as related to a children's book that she was working on. And as she was working on this book, she was possibly hoping that this would eventually lead to more lucrative work as related to starting her art career. Unfortunately, starting an art career, again, is very hard in the beginning, because even if you've got really good skills, it can be a major challenge to go out here
and book commission gigs, or even get commission work finished when you have to go out here and work a 9 to 5 schedule, because as you're working a 9 to 5 schedule, doing all kinds of jobs, you're trying to find the time to finish a commission and get it done up to standard. And this was a lot of stress on Audrey Hale, who was possibly dealing with issues as related to their sexuality, and also dealing with the fact that possibly their parents did not accept their sexual identity as transitioning from woman to man. And this possibly led to Audrey Hale acting like many beta males I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, simmering and boiling in anger, seething with a lot of rage, and seething with rage because they were not getting the success they wanted as related to their career, and was not able to go out here and start making a way in life as Audrey Hale, the artist. And this is possibly what led to Audrey Hale transitioning into Aiden, because she wanted to have the power of a man. And because she wanted to have the power of a man, she thought that having a man's power would enable her to change her life. But it's not going to change, because, again, when you are an artist, you're not going to make big money as related to that career choice, because, again, in the beginning, it's a lot of pain. And I've heard the stories of many comic artists out here saying that they were out here, and when they started out, just trying to sell commissions for $50, $100, because their name wasn't a known name, because only known names can go out here and charge huge money for a page rate as related to serious commissions. And this is something that nobody possibly told Audrey Hale as related to the world of art. And while she went to art school and again got the art skills, she possibly was starting to becoming more and more frustrated about not being able to get that art career started, becoming very frustrated as related to the conflict with her deeply Christian family, because Tennessee is a red state filled with a lot of deeply religious Christian individuals, and living in that strict Christian home and going to one of these schools, which many of these art schools, there are a lot of progressive individuals there. This was a recipe for a serious conflict, and that serious conflict was something that Audrey Hale's parents were possibly having in their home with their daughter. And this was possibly one of the reasons what led to a lot of the anger that Audrey Hale possibly had. And as they were sitting there with their anger, seething in this rage about a life that could not change for the better, because Audrey Hale, or Aiden Hale, did not have the money or the resources to solve the problem. Because as related to these issues of a daughter who is transitioning as related to their sexuality, the only solution to deal with parents who do not accept your identity is to move out of the home. This is what many people in the alphabet community sadly have to do when their parents are deeply religious. They oftentimes have to go out here and move out of their parents' home, and they have to move out of their parents' home so that they can have some peace of mind as related to their sexual identity and their sexual orientation. So these individuals who are transgender oftentimes have to transition out of their parents' home, and Audrey Hale possibly didn't see that solution because, according to her parents, she was having emotional issues, and because she was having emotional issues, she was out here deeply frustrated, deeply angry about her life not going the way that she wanted. And because she was angry about her life not going the way she wanted, even though she was transitioning into becoming the male who she thought would have power, and using the he/him pronouns as related to her social media profiles, her life situation had not changed, and because their life situation had not changed, because the only way for it to change would have been to go get a job and move out of that home, what happened was Audrey Hale, or Aiden, started making plans to take the lives of innocent people at the Christian school where she started her social life. And again, this plan, I believe, was deliberate and intentional, and it was all based on the foundation of everything, because it was a way to get back at her parents for laying that foundation in Christianity in her, and because she wanted to get back at them. This is why she targeted, I believe, the Covenant School in Nashville as the start of the murder spree. The original plan, again, included other schools, but those other schools had more security, and this is where Aiden, or Audrey, basically abandoned those plans for those schools because there was more security, and this transgender male did not want to challenge the authority of stronger males who would definitely fight back or push back, because many of the mass shooters I do research on, many of them want to be able to have a fight that's one-sided, and they want the path of least resistance, and because they want the path of least resistance, they choose venues where there are no ways of people fighting back. And this is what I believe Aiden Hale, or Audrey Hale, wanted to do as related to these shootings. And they definitely wanted to go to the Covenant School because they had a deep contempt for the Christian religion. And because they had a deep contempt for the Christian religion, they wanted to get back at the parents for raising them as Christians, and they wanted to get back at their parents for raising them as Christians by going back to the school that laid the foundation for their socializing and their social education. And this was about getting even with their parents, and it was about looking to hurt their parents by going out here and participating in this. Now, before Audrey or Aiden Hale went to participate in that shooting, they went on social media and sent messages to friends to let them know that they were going to commit this murder, and they were going to commit this series of murders because they didn't really want to live anymore, because they felt like their life wasn't living. Now, with many beta males out here, many of them, they feel like since they cannot get their life to work in the real world, they want to destroy the world around them, and they want to destroy the world around them in a blaze of glory that gets them the most attention. And that's what Audrey or Aiden Hale was looking to do as related to this mass shooting at this Covenant Elementary School. They were looking to go out in infamy because they did not know how to go out here and get fame and attention for themselves, because they didn't know how to function in the world. They didn't know how to function as related to living in a world where they couldn't deal with the fact that their parents didn't accept them. They couldn't deal with the fact that the art world was not going to be knocking at their door, and that life wasn't really working out the way they wanted as related to things. And this is what happens with many beta males out here. Many beta males, what happens is when they cannot make life work, they look to end their life by destroying the world around them and looking for a way to end their life. And this is what I believe happened with Audrey or Aiden Hale, is that he wound up planning basically to commit this mass shooting, and was looking to do suicide by cop, and looking to hope that a police officer would take their life after they participated in this mass shooting, and looking to end their life and their existence by going out in infamy by taking all of these lives. Because again, many of these males, whether they be natural males or transgender males, follow the same pattern as related to mass shootings. And again, they commit the mass shooting because they want to get the attention for accomplishing something because they feel like they're not able to accomplish anything in this world, and that because they cannot build anything in this world, what they look to do is destroy the world around them and destroy the lives of other people, and they look to go out in infamy. And that's possibly what I believe Audrey Hale or Aiden Hale was looking to do, looking to get that revenge on their parents for giving them that Christian upbringing that ran diametrically opposed to the views that they have about their own sexuality, and was looking to go out in infamy because they could not have the career as related to the art world they could not have. So I look at this whole situation as related to Audrey or Aiden Hale as another person in crisis. And what's really sad is that people don't want to see the person in crisis. No, quickly we see everybody running to the whole issues of gun control on the left and the right, when this isn't a gun issue. No, like I've said in many videos, this is a family issue, and it's clear to me that Audrey Hale's family didn't give her that support, and because she couldn't get that support for her alphabet lifestyle, what she wanted to do was go out and destroy her life and the lives of those around them, because she felt like since she could not go out here and live the way she wanted, she would die and look to die because there's no way that she felt that was worth living. And it also, when I also look at this whole case of Audrey Hale, again, it's just deeply sad because, again, we have people talking about gun control when we've got many states, again, that have strict gun control laws. It wouldn't have changed anything here in this state of Tennessee, which is a concealed carry state, because at the time Audrey Hale bought her guns legally, and she was able to buy those guns legally, even though she was supposedly having emotional issues. She was having emotional issues, but could still go out here and buy these guns. And again, no gun control law is going to stop a beta person, because a beta person is going to go out here and find whatever weapon to participate in their destruction. And I've seen this from many cases that I've done research on, such as Tim McVeigh and Terry Nichols, who, when they weren't even looking for guns, they went out here and built ammonium nitrate bombs and blew up the Alfred P. Murrah building. And I've even talked about individuals who have gone out here and gotten airplanes and used them like missiles. When it comes down to these people in crisis, they will use anything as a weapon, and they're looking to, again, use anything that they can get their hands on, and they'll do this with anything, so no legislation can stop this. No, the only way we can deal with this is to go out here and invest in healing the family, because at the core of this story of Aiden or Audrey Hale is a person in crisis because they were having issues with their family, and this person felt so powerless that they felt like they had to destroy the world because they couldn't get the money or the resources to move out. Because, again, most alphabet people who are dealing with parents and have dealt with parents in these situations where they are not accepting their sexuality or sexual identity or sexual orientation, what they do is once they go and get their money together, they move out of their parents' home. And at 28 years old, Audrey or Aiden Hale should have been making those plans, because that's what I heard many LGBTQ people, they did back in the day when they had parents who were extremely homophobic. They had no choice but to move out of their homes, and that's what they did instead of going and participating in this kind of violence. But this whole set of violence, again, just shows me how deep the crisis among men and women are going. And it shows me what happens when you have somebody who wants to become a man but doesn't understand what being a man is all about. And what happens is when you don't understand what being a man is all about is you wind up with someone who winds up on the road to becoming a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to men and women winding up on this self-destructive and dysfunctional road, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also get the companion, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find both books at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos about the man crisis and those who suffer from the man and the woman crisis, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.